Hey there guys, it's Brian again from LakeHickoryScuba and Marina. In this next commentated video, we've decided to move one of our training platforms that was out here in the water, and I'll put up a map here just shortly and kind of show you where it was located to where it is located now, and the decision of why we decided or why we made that decision to move it. But that's what this video is going to show you, is how we raised the platform, moved the platform, and then set it back down in the water. And the main reason that we did it was simply the location that it was at, though it was very accessible and it was very easy for us to go out. It was basically right off the edge of one of our docks, in the center of a cove here on our lake. It was in perfect depth, between 20 and 30 feet for divers to do their skills on. The problem with it was, here at the marina, it was on the gas dock side, so in the middle of the summer when we have a lot of our open water divers doing checkouts, we had the problem of, even if we put a flag up, because here in the state of North Carolina, we have to by law. It's not just a scuba police thing. It's a state law. We have to put a dive flag up anytime we're running diving operations in the water. But even with that being said, here in North Carolina, just because a boat has to stay 50 feet away from that flag, a lot of boaters here on our lake don't understand what a dive flag is. So for a safety concern, we have decided to move it out to where there's a little bit less traffic. The other thing is even here in the state of North Carolina, a boater has to stay 50 feet away from that flag unless that flag is an unreasonable obstruction to a navigational area. And that's a navigational area for those boats to come in, get gas, this, that, and the other. And yes, we're a dive shop, but we're also a marina, so we want to cater to those individuals, to those boaters, just like we cater to our scuba diving customers. So we've decided to move our platform so that we can get it in a little bit safer area for our divers. Plus, it's a little bit clearer area. And you'll notice too, the visibility changes from where we move the platform, or where we get the platform from, to where we move it to. You'll notice that the visibility, we gain about 2 to 3 foot visibility, which helps us out a lot, especially during the summertime. So guys, pay attention during the video. I'll walk you through how we lift the platform, how we're moving it, whole 9 yards, and then where we're sitting at. And once again, I'll show you a map of where it was at and where it's located at now. So guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Okay guys, here is a Google Earth image of the area. If you'll look at the map, you can see there on the left side of the map, there is a marina there. That is our current location. It's also the location, there's a marker there called starting point, and that starting point is where the platform is currently at. It's where we're moving it from. And if you follow the red line down and out, you can follow it to the right side of the screen there. About right in the middle of the screen, you'll see a place called ending point, and that's the part that we're actually, or that's going to be the new location for that training platform. In these next series of pictures here, there you can actually see a down scan image of the platform or the trampoline there. I'll zoom in for you real quick here. You can see a good detail in the bottom right hand corner, right where it says 20.3 feet there. You can see a line coming off, and in the video you're actually going to see that line. Here I'm zoomed in on the line for you. That's where we're having trouble with getting bass lures and different types of fish lures that divers are actually getting their hands cut by. Here's a side scan view and a down scan view of it. Some of these pictures, you'll notice the depth changes a couple of feet. There it was 19, now it's 21.7. What happens is Duke Pyre actually changes the water level on us, so that's another reason that we're wanting to move it, is to get it in a consistent 20 to 30 foot depth. So now that we're getting into the video here, this is the start. I'll be pulling the lift bag system that we're going to be using. This is a sub-salve 1,100 pound lift bag. Basically our idea is swim to the center of the platform. We're going to lay it on top of the platform and then secure it. We're using mule tape instead of rope. If you ever use mule tape, this stuff is extremely durable. It's extremely hard to cut. But what we're going to do is place it in the center of the platform, tie it off and secure it in 4 different locations, and then slowly fill up the bag until we can lift the platform to the surface, and then we will proceed to move it to its new destination. So as I'm preparing the bag here, having the other diver grab the tank that we're going to use to lift it, he'll use it as I'm securing the bag, and then as we lift it, then we'll move.
Can you carry that tank?
And it's important anytime you do any type of diving like this to take your time. If you listen to my breathing, you can tell that I'm already kind of worked up over it. My respiratory rate's increased, and the more air you use, the shorter amount of time you have underwater. So just make sure you take your time anytime you do diving like this, and keep your breathing under control.
Center of the cove. You can't miss it. There's a doorway. Swim right between the two doors.
Here I'm giving him a little bit of instructions. This is actually his first time of going down on this platform. He's been on some of our others, but not this one. And as you can tell, we're right there at the gas dock, so it's one of our primary reasons for moving the platform. Alright, as we go down, we're going to come across that line that you can see in the sonar pictures. This is how we use line navigation for the students to lead them out to the platform. Anytime that you can use line navigation, you don't always want to pull yourself along. Now, I'm doing it because I'm in a work environment at this point. However, during training, after the students' first checkout dive, we allow them to use line navigation to get to the platform. However, they're not allowed to touch the line. We're trying to stress the importance of neutral buoyancy for them. So we allow them to use the line just simply as a visual reference, not really as a physical reference, I guess you could say. There you can see some of the bass lures that's stuck in the line there. That's another reason that we're trying to move the platform, just make it a little bit safer for the divers. And here we're coming across the trampoline. It's gonna silt out on us temporarily here. We do tend to collect a lot of silt here. The mat of the trampoline, it's not open enough to allow that silt to fall on through, but we still end up getting the job done fairly simply. If you can listen closely, you can hear a boat motor up above us. The boat that we're using today, or on this day, to help move the platform was kind of keeping boats out of the area temporarily till we could get it raised and moved. We ended up just securing our dive flag up on that boat itself instead of putting it in the water. So you can hear them kind of going back and forth and directing traffic as we're down here working. Here I am just simply securing one of the ropes to the edge of the trampoline, and then once I've got it secured, I'll go to the other 3 points, secure it. We will try to adjust the bag to where we can center it pretty much in the middle of the mat itself, and then we will slowly start to inflate the bag and raise it to the surface. We have the lift bag secured in all 4 points, and we're going to fix the tank up to the valve, slowly open it up. Now, one thing, anytime that you are lifting something, it's very important to be able to control it at all times, and also to be able to clear yourself from it in the event that you get a rapid ascent. Now, with this trampoline, we opted to use a tank instead of a compressor up top. It was just a little bit easier for us to maneuver. We are currently, with our water level now, it's roughly in about 17 foot of water. So as this thing starts to rise, it is going to rise fairly quickly, and we are sitting on top of it, which can be dangerous. So I'm constantly, I don't know if you can see there at the bottom of the screen, I'm constantly monitoring the depth to make sure that we're not rocketing it up. And just like you would manipulate your buoyancy during your ascent of any normal dive, basically I'm manipulating our buoyancy via the bag. If something was to happen, I can slide off the mat of the trampoline real quick, allow it to go on up, and then I can safely ascend to the surface. Here, checking my depth and my ascent rate once again. And these bags that we're using, it's by a company called Subsalve. This happens to be an 1,100 pound lift. We really enjoy their bags. They work great for us. We do a lot of salvaging here on the lake and some of our other local lakes in the area. So they really work good for the type of diving that we do. And here we've got it at the surface. We're currently towing it. We come to find out using the stern of the boat to tow the trampoline was not the best option. We actually lost all maneuverability as far as being able to turn left, right, or anything like that. Here shortly you'll see we end up stopping the vessel. We reattach to the bow of the boat, and then we put the boat in reverse, and we're able to tow it that way. That way we have complete maneuverability from the motor itself, and it doesn't really pull the boat one way or the other. And here we're going to our new location. We've got a spotter there on the front of the boat trying to find our buoy that we have dropped in the location that we want to reset at. And then, like I said, we had quite a bit of difficulty trying to maneuver with it attached to the back of the boat. So we readjust. That didn't help hardly at all. Did this help for us? I think we was able to make it about another maybe 10 to 15 feet, and we noticed that we still didn't have any maneuverability of the vessel. Basically what happened was the mat of the trampoline became a parachute, and it just created way too much drag in the water for us to control it. So here we're going to unhook from the stern, move the rope up to the bow of the boat, and readjust that way. And it tended to work for us. It was a little bit slow going in reverse, but it worked out a lot better for us doing it this way than driving it normal. And it kind of looks like I'm pulling the trampoline towards us by hand. Actually, I'm not. The trampoline is not moving. As I'm pulling, it's pulling our boat closer to the trampoline itself. So it's got a lot of drag in the water. And then here, this is where we've got it attached to the bow. And we're going to slowly go in reverse until we get to our new destination. Now that we're at our destination, we have unsecured the trampoline from the back of the boat. We're preparing myself and the other diver to make our entries again, and then we will slowly deflate the bag. We'll allow the trampoline to sink back down, and then we will adjust it, or fine-tune adjust, once we get down to the bottom.
Just I have to let a little bit out at a time to try to flatten it out. And hopefully it'll... Can you pull down on that side over there? No, over here. Pull down on the legs.
And we're having a little bit of difficulty here. The bag, with it not being completely centered on the mat, it's kind of standing straight up and down. So what we're going to do is, as the other diver pulls down on the legs, I'm going to slowly deflate it to kind of flatten the trampoline back out. And then once it's flat, we will kind of dump all the air and allow it to seat in its new location. So here, as he starts to pull down on these legs, I'll slowly let the air out. It'll flatten itself back out, and then we can drop it into the water column and place it on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm letting it out.
Now once we get it on the bottom, we positioned it exactly where we wanted it. We verified that it was a good level position, and then we noticed that during the tow process of it, one of the poles that holds the net around it had actually broke off. So we opted to actually take those poles off, wind the net up on them, and then take the net off completely. We did notice that over time, the net, just like the original string that we had going from the docks to the platform itself, was a generalized area that we collected a lot of bass lures, and so it was great to keep the students on the platform. However, as they swam around it, they were constantly getting wetsuits caught and hooks and stuff. So this time we decided, let's just cut it off, get rid of it, and we wouldn't have that issue. Here you can see our visibility is still not great, but it's a lot better than what it was in the former location that we had it. Here, as I'm trying to unsecure the bag, I'm also going to be cutting some of the netting off. And here we're undoing the net from the poles. We did end up leaving all the poles on there. We're currently trying to get some information from the North Carolina Wildlife now as far as whether we can place a mooring buoy on our platform itself. And the poles are what we could actually use to secure it. That way we will have a line that's permanently on it. It'll be a lot easier to locate. Now we've got the GPS coordinates to locate it, but if any other dive shops out there want to use our training platform, they're more than welcome to. And it makes it a lot easier if you've got a mooring buoy at the surface to locate it instead of always having to rely on GPS to find it. So that's why we decided to leave the poles on there. But we are, like I said, we are going to remove the net to prevent any type of entanglement hazard and to prevent any fish hooks or bass lures or anything like that from getting caught in it and potentially getting hung into a diver. And as I'm cutting the last few bits of the net here, I'm using the pole that actually broke off to roll it up on. It made it fairly easy for me to do using that pole there. Helped prevent an entanglement hazard for myself or the other diver. Plus it helped me keep it nice and neat and not be dragging this big old bulky net around. I was able to roll it up in a nice little neat package. And of course, here at the end of the video, we're going to secure it to the bag, lift it to the surface, and then that way we're not littering in the lake by leaving the net down there. And then, as you can see here, I've got the net completely rolled up on the pole, and what I'm going to do is take the remaining eel tape that we have secured there on the bag and on the tank, and I'm going to secure the netting to it, and and slowly raise the bag to the surface. That way we can bring it out as one complete unit. It's not a danger to any diver out there. It's not a danger to any of the wildlife. And anything that we don't use, of course, we go ahead and get it out of the water. We don't like littering in the water, so we like taking care of the environment. And making the final cuts here. And then I'll secure the netting and then of course lift it to the surface. Now that we have everything free, we can go ahead and lift the bag, the netting, and the pole that broke off to the surface and go ahead and get it out of the water. And we have successfully moved one of our training platforms to a new location. A little bit better visibility, a little bit safer for the divers. So we think it'll work out good for us. So guys, I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope you learned something from it as far as whether it's lifting, moving objects, securing objects, whatever it may be. We do appreciate you watching these videos. They are made for you. We hope that we're able to teach you something in each and every one of them. As always, guys, make sure you check us out on Twitter. Just hit the little follow button. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Facebook's really good for us to advertise to you guys because you can get up-to-date information as far as our trips, our training classes that's going on. Pinterest, of course, all our videos get copied over to Pinterest. And, of course, our YouTube channel. Please make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube because, once again, these videos are simply for you. We enjoy making them for you. Whether it's our training videos, our gear review videos, or just commentated videos like this. We like showing you what we do. And if you got any suggestions for future videos, look us up on Facebook. Send us a little suggestion or a hint, or send us an email, or simply put it down in the comment section below. So guys, once again, make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, pin us on Pinterest, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and as always, guys, we appreciate your business.